Hey guys, I'm Classique. If you're new here, Casual Talk is my show in which I interview Rocket League pros, content creators, or people in the scene. It's always great to know more about them. Last week we had Athena with our thoughts on content creation, her plans for the future, and it was really interesting. This week we have GarrettG, one of the most respected player in all of our LCS. He shared his thoughts about Rocket League Esports, about the game in general, and it was really fantastic. If you enjoyed it, it would mean the world to me if you could share it with one person. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. I want to first thank you for doing this. I appreciate you taking the time.
Yeah, no worries. I think we're messaging each other for like weeks
Yeah.
because I kept forgetting about it. But finally, a lot of people, don't realize. I mean, it really is because of Fortnite. Like, this game would be the next come up esport if Fortnite didn't come out. Like, no joke. So, Fortnite kind of hit us a little bit.
Yeah,
But,
it took all the eyeballs.
Yeah, it did. I know it did. But Rocket League's not in a bad state. I think a lot of the people are always at like it's dying because they're bored. Because it's all grand champ. If you look, it's all grand champs saying that. So when you're grand champ, it's kind of boring. But I don't know.
Yeah,
I think Rocket League's in a good position. So I've said this for a while. Like every time someone's asked me, I think like I honestly feel like this game has like at least 4 or 5 years left, just because it's so unique. Like even if Psyonix screwed up, it's like people are gonna come back just because there's no substitute except for those crappy $5 Steam games, and those are horrible. So.
When did you start playing Rocket League? Did you play SART before Rocket? Or?
No, no. I think I've said this a couple times on stream. I actually hated the game. I thought it was so bad, like one of the worst games ever made when it came out. Because I don't remember exactly. I think I got it like right after it came out from watching Summit stream.
Okay.
And like they were bad. So I got the game and like I was like, oh, this is stupid. You're just driving on the ground and everyone's like hitting a ball. It was like hockey to me because like no one could fly or anything. And then around like late October of the same year, I think it was 2015. Which, dang, time goes so fast, jeez. I watched a Kenobi montage. And I was like, holy crap, you can fly. And I started trying it and I realized there's like a whole skill gap, and I realized I was super bad at it. So I got addicted to it from just being bad at it. But yeah, I hated it at first. I thought it was horrible.
You were like kind of bad at it, but you saw a high level play, so it kind of motivated you to become better. Was that with the intention of going pro, or it was simply like for you just because you wanted to be better?
No, my intention at the time was to reach gold, and then I did that. And then so the way I found my first team was I was about to reach gold in solos.
Okay.
And it was literally my promotion game. And I was just getting absolutely destroyed by this guy. And I literally said to him, yo, can you forfeit? This is my gold game. And he did.
Oh, wow.
so I added him, and we played for a while. I think I don't think I reached platinum with him in 3, him and his friend, but we were pretty close. But then I saw I think I watched a Latch stream when he used to stream ESLs way back in the day.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, can we play one of these? And we did, and we got top 4 for our first one, and lost to Untethered. So after that, I was like, once you play competitive for the first time and it goes decent, it's like ranked is nothing in comparison. So I was hooked on the competitive part pretty quick.
Yeah. Do you feel, because there's a lot of comparisons, especially like when we did the talks with Cloudfuel and Gibbs, who obviously were here very early. They felt like kind of a disconnect between like the new wave of people trying to make it pro and the old school players who basically had to compete for like $50 or nothing, basically, because there was just nothing at the beginning of Rocket League.
Yeah.
What do you feel would be like the best, I guess, do you feel like we have the best structure right now for upcoming players with the RLRS system and RLCS? Basically, what would you change if you could, or what's your opinion on that?
There's always room for improvement on that stuff. I feel like it's way better than before. I mean, it was a lot harder to go pro back then than it is now. And if you're gonna be at pro level, you're gonna do it. Like, you're gonna be good enough. But I don't know. Honestly, I've never thought about it because I've never been in that situation. Yeah. Because I got lucky and became good right before LCS started. I don't know. I really don't. That's honestly a hard question because I've always,
Yeah.
I've always thought about the RLCS format more than the, the
Everything else.
coming into it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Honestly,
it's your world, right? It's
yeah. No, yeah. I
understandable.
feel like RLCS should be bigger, in my opinion. Like 7 games isn't enough. I don't think. Like it goes by so quick. I think we made the grand finals of RLCS and we only played like 13 series throughout like a half a year.
Yeah,
So
that's
I
not a
don't like
lot.
that. Yeah, I
Okay.
don't like that at all.
So by bigger,
But,
you mean longer, basically.
yeah, well, I feel like they could expand the 10 teams. I think even though like there'd be a huge skill gap
Yeah.
between the top 3 or 4 and the bottom 4. Like I still feel like it would make for a better season regardless. I mean, you're not gonna have 10 teams on the same level. I mean, that doesn't even happen in LCS. So
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't happen in most.
yeah, that'll
esports.
never happen in anything. Yeah, that'll never happen. So, and I mean, obviously this is a huge step forward, but I would love league play to be LAN. I hate playing online.
Yeah.
And most of the other players, almost everyone hates playing online. I hate it so much. I love LAN. If Psyonix wanted to go in like fully on esports, they would definitely do it. Because I feel like that's how you grow. Because when you're watching online, like you don't see anyone's faces, so you don't see any emotion. So it's like it's hard. I don't think you get really diehard fans from online league play. I feel like LAN is where most of the fans start watching Rocket League. The thing, like, I think is as soon as Psyonix like invests more into like the format and like league play, you're gonna see like way more orgs invest. Like it's not gonna be the other way around where orgs invest and then okay, Psyonix is gonna invest more in esports. It has to be the org, first. Because right now, I mean, Rocket League salaries are pretty damn good for how the game is right now.
Yeah.
There's not many third-party events or anything, and online, like you don't see Energy sponsors when we play. You just see the logo.
Yeah.
Like you don't see like Logitech or Asus or anything on the side of the wall. Even that would help. Like if they had a custom overlay where you could have your
sponsors.
Kind of like like Overwatch League. Like when the shot play in Overwatch League, there's a huge Logitech logo on their side of the wall because it's their sponsor.
Yeah.
So I don't know. There just needs to be some. I mean, the price was a really good start. I don't think it's fair. Which this is us complaining, but Turbo, or this is me complaining and being, I'm just not like a money hungry. I don't even play for the money. But I still think it doesn't make sense where Turbo's, a 3-time world champion and he's barely made $100,000 from prize pools.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. You win 3 world champ. I would understand like third-party lands, but
yeah,
he's won 3
world
of them.
championships. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I don't know. I know the esports team, loves esports and all that, but I don't think Psyonix is fully on board with esports, honestly, in my opinion.
Okay. And
like,
what makes you think that that they are like esports all right, but apart from the esports team they're not on board?
Because like I feel like a lot more would, if they loved esports and really wanted to do stuff, I feel like way more would happen by now for sure. Like in-game items are difficult to do, but they're not that hard where it takes 3 years. Like
yeah.
And there's nothing in game really about esports except for the in-game button.
Yeah.
I had heard rumors about like a tab coming like 2 years ago. That never happened. Like a whole menu. That never happened. I don't know. It just doesn't seem like they. I know they like it and they like to watch, but I don't think they really care for it that much. And I could be wrong. There could be like some. I'm not a lawyer.
Yeah.
There could be some huge legal reason that I don't know or something like that. But that's just that's my point of view. So.
What would be your favorite like esports moment? Both, well, one as a player, like for your own career, and like another one as a viewer. What would be those two favorite esports moment?
The first one that comes to mind, I answer this every time, is so season 1. Obviously we were. I think I was 15. Yeah, I was 15, and we had never been at a LAN, never like met people for the LAN, and there was, I think it was us, Kings of Urban, and Weedham Girls. We were sitting in the. I don't remember if you know how the LAN was. Well, we were like, it was like a nightclub.
Yeah. It was small.
Yeah. So we were sitting in like the booths because at night, I guess there's like a lot of sitting area, and we're chilling there. And at season 1, they had a live band. They had Hollywood Principal.
Yeah.
It's one of those Psyonix's bands or whatever.
Yeah.
And they started playing. I think it was whatever the most like Rocket League song there is. I think it was Breathing on the Water or something like that.
Yeah.
they start getting into the chorus of that, and the big, huge like LED screens they had on the wall started showing our faces.
Ooh.
So like we have some loud music, and our faces literally start showing up on these huge screens, and I don't know, we were all just sitting there like in awe, because that's when it became kind of real.
You often mention that like Justin is your carry and all that jazz. How did it come? Like, how did it happen from like his transition to like NRG, the NRG squad? Did you find out about him and reach out to him? Did he reach out to you? Like, how did that happen?
So like my relationship with Justin was kind of weird, because I remember thinking like, oh, he's just a rival series player and he'll like be mediocre at best in RCS, stuff like that, because that's usually how it happens. Like, new players aren't. It's never happened to where like one new player comes in and is insane.
Yeah.
I mean, it's happened a few times, but.
No, I get what you mean. Like, it's not the norm.
Yeah, it's not normal at all. And so the first time I was talking to him, like, I remember he got scammed or something like that. Like, he got his alpha boost scammed somehow or something like that.
Okay.
And I gave him my alpha wheels back then for free, so he could. It was his birthday, I think. He turned 15.
Okay.
And so this was before season 4. So I gave him my alpha wheels so he could trade it for alpha boost. And I have no idea why I did that, but I did. And yeah, I didn't know he'd be my teammate at that time, so I always find that kind of funny. But
yeah,
I've said it before, and for some reason, like, people still don't click with. I don't know. I literally said in an article, like, we tried to pick up someone who everyone's tried to pick up. The plan was JNEPs. Like, we were gonna get JNEPs, and like both parties agreed and everything to try to make it happen, and it didn't happen. So Justin was kind of like our second option, because, you know, Justin, it was more of a risk because he was newer. You know, you don't know how he's gonna react under pressure.
Yeah. I mean, everyone knew JNAPS was a monster, so.
Yeah. And this is like when he went from season 3 to season 4, and he like became, you know, another level of a player. So
yeah.
But, you know, eventually I was like, screw it. You know, like, this isn't going well. It didn't seem like it was gonna happen, so we just got Justin. And from the first day, like the first time we scrimmed, like he was insane. Like, it was the weirdest thing. Like, I've never seen someone. It's like he takes a lot of risks, but at the same time he's a really smart player. It's the weirdest thing. I don't think there's anyone else like him. I don't even think Squishy's like him. He's a little bit different. To be honest, it was nice to have someone new, because it made it exciting for me. The real reason like I struggled in season 4 was because it became such a routine to, like, I still had the drive, but I wasn't excited. Getting second has been worse than like getting last. Like, I literally like it's so bad, because like this is like everything I focused on pretty much. It's not like a side thing, obviously. Yeah. I literally, like, some nights when I go to bed, like, I'm sitting there thinking like, what would have happened if we won, and then I'm just sitting there mad for like 30 minutes, or like I'll be in the shower and I'm like sitting there thinking about what if we won and stuff. I don't know.
Okay. It kind of consumes you. Yeah,
Remco tweeted, but like that was one of the first times I've like cried, or like I was actually so devastated when we lost. It was because I don't know, it's such a long series, and like so exhausted afterwards. I just like sat down and cried a little bit. That's the hard part about doing competitive stuff, is like other people might be like, yeah, why are you sad? But like, if you're not winning everything, you're not happy.
Oh yeah, I was wondering, before you got into Rocket League, were you playing any games like hardcore, or were you like Rocket League is the only thing?
Before Rocket League, I was playing CS:GO. I never had a team though, just because it was so hard to find a team in that game. There's a lot more people. Yeah. And all I did was just play ranked, or the matchmaking, every day. Rocket League is the first game I really took serious, I guess. Yeah. Unless you call Minecraft Factions serious. I used to take that kind of serious. Yeah, so Rocket League's the first one.
Okay, gotcha. And do you have a favorite game beside Rocket League right now, or in your life?
Right now, well, all time, the old Call of Duties, because me and my dad had like we both had PS3s. We had 2 PS3s, and we would party up and play together. So that was like, you know, some of the best memories for me.
Do you have a favorite mechanic in the game that you like to pull off yourself?
Double touches.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's the most satisfying thing to do to me, is double touches. I'm probably gonna do that again, like where I like try to improve as much as possible during or before the season, and then during the season I just work on like the team play. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think you can improve very much individually during the season. I feel like you either are good enough for the season or you're not. So I don't know. I've always like tried to play as much as possible, but I've started to realize, that's not always the best thing.
Do you have like a favorite book or movie that kind of changed how you view things in your life, or does that make sense?
Yeah. Honestly, I can't remember what it's called, but it was some book we read in school, and it was about slavery and stuff like that.
Okay.
Or it wasn't, no, not slavery. No, I can't remember it now. It was Night by Elie Wiesel, something like that.
Okay.
It's a Holocaust book.
Okay.
I'm not sure why exactly, but it made me like research a lot of I don't know the word. Sorry.
No worries.
Maybe research a lot of similar events, and then
Okay.
like I started looking at like other people's living conditions and stuff like that, and it just made me appreciate what I have a lot more. If that
Okay.
makes sense.
Yeah,
So
it
I'm not
does.
sure why that book triggered it. Which, well, I mean, it was a Holocaust book, so.
Yeah, it's
But
pretty
it's
horrible.
pretty intense. Yeah. So I don't know. It just made me appreciate that. My biggest worry is not getting killed. It's playing video games. So just want to give a shout out to NRG because they've been pretty cool for the past few months and have made us feel pretty happy about where we are. So just want to give a shout out to them.
Fantastic. Thank you for doing this, Garrett.
Yeah, no problem. I enjoyed it.